What's up, Game Boys and Girls? Big T here, back with another video, and this one is a continuation of my series of the Nintendo grifter. This guy had the unmitigated gall to make a video about Nintendo Grifter of the Year. If you're not on it, then it's completely inauthentic. Nintendine. Well, yeah, you know, Nintendo deserves your hate for a character. No, it's that one. That one was about deserving your hate for their what was it, their Black Friday or whatever. So I'm just merging this together. Nintendo deserves your hate, and therefore I can continue grifting because that's what I need. He's a Nintendo fan, folks. He's a Nintendo fan. He's a concerned Nintendo fan. He reached his limit. He just can't take it anymore. And that's why he's trying to make a better Nintendo fan. He wants you to be better as a Nintendo fan. He's trying to be better as a Nintendo fan. There is nothing good about Nintendo Switch or Nintendo at this point. And we just have to expose that. There's nothing good to talk about. There's only negative things to talk about. Any company. So, you know, we're not going to do Sony or anything like that because there's no money in that. There's money in it if for Xbox hate, but you have to be like a seasoned pony to be able to make money off of that. So what's left is I'm going to be negative about Nintendo in every video. I got nothing good to say. And so the most recent thing is there's been, I don't even want to call it like outrage or fake out, because I don't think it's nothing. It's it's a nothing burger. Apparently there's this character in Metroid Prime 4, Miles something I think his name is, I don't really care, that's causing an uproar from people who never play Metroid in the first place. These people don't play Metroid games anyway. But again, this is to continue and contribute to the grift, because this is something that we can farm some outrage with and whatnot. Now, if this character comes out and he's like super annoying and he's in your face all the time, I will be the first to admit that. Like, I'm fine admitting that, but there's nothing there yet. Because the biggest thing is that he's a character that, you know, Metroid, you know, Prime games especially, any Metroid game, but Prime games don't have this type of character. And I've always said they needed more. If they wanted to sell more, they have to appeal to a wider audience by making it more, for lack of a better word, inclusive as far as Metroid fans. Metroid fans are really particular. We want a certain type of game. We want this kind of isolated kind of corridor situation where, you know, you're doing, I don't know if it became the staple in the series of the backtracking and whatnot, and you upgrade by being able to get through new doors with new abilities, and so it became Metroidvania, which is a joke, but it's a Metroid game. So that's kind of been the thing, and you know, Metroid games, I think they peaked at 3 million sales, and these are fantastic games, especially including the Prime series. I was a huge fan of the original Metroid, a huge fan of Metroid 2, Return of Samus on Game Boy, and Super Metroid. For the longest time, that was everybody's favorite Metroid game. I still had a particular affinity for the original. But I get why Super Metroid was everybody's favorite for a while. And then obviously Metroid Prime comes out and it opens up the series to a newer audience. You know, it wasn't the 2D side-scrolling game, 2D side-scrolling action game. It was now, people considered it a first-person shooter. Now, obviously, it's more of a adventure game. I think Nintendo coined FPA, first-person adventure. I remember back in the day on the GameCube. And that makes more sense because the game is, yeah, there's some first person shooting going on, but it's also a lot of like traversal stuff and discovering new areas and learning lore and scanning things. Like that also is a big part of Metroid Prime series, especially. So, yeah, that's why I said that if they want to adhere to a newer audience, they have to go a little bit more Halo. And basically, what I was saying with Halo, I don't mean like just go crazy shooting, bang, bang, everything. I just meant like incorporate some extra characters so that way Samus doesn't feel like a robot. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like a person interacting with other people. And so if you play Halo, you know there's instances throughout every area that you interact with the other soldiers and whatnot. And I'm like, that's kind of what Metroid needs, especially when they introduced the Federation Force. Especially in Metroid Prime 3, you got a little bit more of that kind of Halo feel. And I thought that was a good thing. That was a good step in the right direction. But it's just like it's a Wii, and a lot of core gamers just didn't play that version, I think. It just didn't hit the same as it did on GameCube. It was kind of later it wasn't that late, but I just think for the most part, the audience on the Wii, a large part of the audience would never play a Metroid game anyway. So I think this is probably the best chance for this type of Metroid game to permeate and sell better. And so adding these characters that more people can relate to where, because Samus feels like this kind of stoic, robotic kind of figure, and in order to open her up to a bigger audience, I think you have to incorporate some more human aspects to the game, and that's what this is going to do. So the character Miles, whatever, he comes off as very annoying, that kind of nerdy, annoying character. It's kind of a trope at this point, but I don't foresee him being in much of the game. You still, like in a lot of the gameplay footage, it's Metroid Prime. You're going through as Samus, doing your Samus thing, and then there's sequences where these help characters come in, and you sometimes will even fight alongside them for a little while, just like Halo does. And I thought that, for me, I still feel like that's a great idea. But there's an uproar about it online, because here's a point of contention that we can attack Nintendo about again. So let's make this a huge thing. And I say huge with quotations. Gonna make a big thing out of it. What I don't think even in the game is gonna be that big a thing. I think instances of annoyance probably won't be more than 3. It's not like you're going to be fighting Omega Pirate and then Miles is going to run away. Oh my goodness, somebody help me. What am I going to do? That type of thing. I don't think that's going to happen. And people are acting like that will happen, but I don't think that's going to happen. But the grift must continue. It's getting harder and harder. You can't talk about the sales numbers really anymore. I mean, they kind of tried, but that didn't really work. Nintendo's starting to pick up as far as third-party games happening and just games just running well and looking really good on the system. I still have my issues with the Switch too. Obviously, I don't love keycard situation. I would like more games to be physical on a cart, and I will contend with that. The prices are still icky, but it's just like I know there is a there's a situation. There's a what do you call it? Tariff situation. There's a stupid American government doing stupid things situation. So I get it, and I know some companies do use that to take advantage, and I don't like that. And I acknowledge that. And also Nintendo still is doing stupid things. Like I don't like the whole Switch 2 version thing where they're charging $80 for a game. I mean, that's just stupid. It's egregious. But they'll make some money off of it, I guess. But I think they could do better without doing that. And I had a whole video talking about the Switch 2 version and why the hardware is the purchase that should be the only purchase you need to get better visuals. And I'll stand by that. But again, there's still not enough to do daily or bi-daily even content of negativity. But these guys, they they'll slither and figure out some stuff, and it's really sad and embarrassing. You know, I mean, it's fine. I guess it's fine with me. I'll just continue this series of embarrassment for these dudes, and I just think it's funny for the again, if people, you know, some people will say, especially people who follow this guy, they'll come to my channel and act like they're being unbiased and fair, and they'll be in the comments and saying, well, no, he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. You know, he actually, if you watch the video, it makes a lot of sense and stuff. I'm like, I've said that. There is some things he's right about, and they make sense, that we agree about. But what I don't agree with, that there is enough negative stuff to talk about. And again, at this point, he can't. What is he gonna do? Start saying positive things? Watch them views go, because the people who see him as a grifter are not gonna start showing. There'll always be some. Some will show up and like, oh, good, you came to to our side, and now you're talking positive. I'll forget all that negative stuff you did. There's some people that do that, but I think most people will see what's going on and be like, bro, you like, we can see that you're grifting, and there's just it just don't feel right for me to come over here, even though you're being like honest at this point, or you're being fair, or fairer at least. But again, I wouldn't care. There's tons of YouTubers out there who make negative videos about Nintendo. I'm not in their comment section. I've probably been in Dean's comment section once. But I'm not in the comment section. I'm not up there defending blah blah blah, like, because I don't care, because they're just being negative. I get it, like it's fine. That doesn't bother me. What the difference is with Nintendo, he's trying to act like he's, again, this purveyor of truth, and he's trying to better Nintendo one video at a time, and it's just like, come on, bro, it's a grift. We know it's a grift. It's, stop trying to act like you're something that you're not. We can look at the difference in the videos you made before the grift and the videos you made after the grift. Before, there wasn't any of this, and there was plenty of stuff at that time to criticize Nintendo about. But was he doing it then? No, he was trying to be, he's trying to be a fan, a normal fan. But it wasn't getting an attraction, and I guess maybe he got pissed off one day about something, and he, turned his camera on, or not camera, but he turned his, microphone on and went to town, and it got him a lot of views, and he was like, oh, well, that worked. And he probably tested it. Let me try again. Oh, that worked again. Because there are a lot of people out there who do not like, especially at this moment in time, I'll explain why, who do not like the idea of Nintendo doing well. Obviously, the Switch came out. They expected the Switch not to do well. I thought it was going to do well from the beginning. And I wasn't sure about Wii U. And so that you see what happened there. I wasn't sure about GameCube, and GameCube also didn't do great. I think I have a feeler for these things. But Switch came out, did phenomenal. Much like the Wii, where it was just like, all right, I guess I'm at the uncle I give, and you have to give in and go buy the thing, because these are popularity whores for the most part, and it's just like, oh, well, it's doing well, I guess I have to buy it because it's doing well, and all the stuff I want to say, negative stuff, isn't getting any traction at this point, and so boom. And so what happened was happening early on with Switch 2 is that, yeah, there's some negative stuff. There's the key card situation. There's the prices, stuff like that, and that was, getting a lot of views, and so it was easy. It's easier to blame on than that. But again, like I said, even with Switch 1, there was a lot of hate videos and whatnot, and they slowly had to die out because the views start shifting, and they weren't getting the views anymore because it was hard to deny the Switch popularity, and people just liked it a lot at that time. And that's going to happen to Switch 2 as well. It's going to be hard to deny very soon. Now, there's a lot of haters out there, like I said, because on the other consoles, there's a shift happening. Now, this has happened with Microsoft for a while, so I think Xbox fans specifically don't they don't mind as much. They understand what's going on. They understand the program at this point, even though Microsoft was lying to them, or at least Phil was. And I don't know if it was on purpose. He might have been genuine in what he was saying, but Satya Nadella is running the show over there. It's pretty obvious at this point. But those guys, they get it. Like, okay, our games are going other places. I have Game Pass uh-oh. And then Game Pass went, hold my beer. And it upset me specifically because I was like, well, at this price, it makes a lot of sense. But at this price, it doesn't make as much sense. I'm not a hardcore Xbox fan. I do like, Xbox ecosystem. I do like a lot of the game, or a lot of companies that Microsoft owns, and the games that come out, Bethesda specifically. So I do like, a lot of their output. And so I'm more friendly to them. But obviously, the Sony fan base, the ponies, if you will, they're the ones that are currently in denial. There was a time where the Xbox guys were in denial about the company and what was going to happen, but now currently the most in denial fan base is the Sony fan base. And so because things are changing, the industry is changing. Games are way too damn expensive, especially the type of games that Microsoft and Sony make specifically. These games are movie budget budgets, and in order to to offset that, you got to sell to more people. It's not enough people on your console. Yeah, a lot of these fans don't seem to understand that. Yeah, Sony selling 100 million consoles every year is great, but the prices of the games is more exponential, and so selling 10 million copies of God of War, maybe at full price, and then getting to maybe 15 or 20 million copies when you discounted the thing $30, that is not enough. That's why they went into PC, and they're probably going to Xbox. I don't know. I mean, they said they will. They've already said it, that that was part of their plan. So we're gonna see that happen. But a lot of Sony fanboys are in denial and they're upset, and so they lash out. They're lashing out. They're lashing out at Nintendo because Nintendo fans, we're having fun over here. We have problems with our console, but for the most part, we're enjoying it. I mean, there's a lot of, and it happens every generation. I remember people hating on Switch as well, because they were just so angry about Wii U and and that Wii U not getting the love. So was I, but it wasn't to a point where I'm like, I'm gonna shun the next Nintendo console and the greatness that was the Switch. I mean, that just didn't make a lot of sense to me. And that's happening again with Switch 2, where fans are like, I'll just keep my Switch. I don't need no Switch 2. It's too expensive. The games ain't worth it. Yeah, at some point they will be worth it to you. And so to put this hard line in the sand, and then you gotta have to, make your way back. Why even do that? You can express your faults, your anger with the company without completely going off the rails. I mean, you can do that. If you don't like something, don't support it. Like, talk about it for sure, and don't support it. Like, key cards. I have nuance. I said what I don't like about key cards is that they're becoming the only way that I can get third-party games on my Switch 2. That's what I don't like about them. Key cards in practice and on paper is fine with me, because it's like, okay, for those companies where the game can't fit on a card, that just doesn't happen. Every game's not going to fit on the card. I mean, look at Final Fantasy Remake. That game is too large to fit on the Switch card, even the card we have now. Now, it's not like Square Enix is not putting out stuff like Bravely Default on a damn key card. That can fit. That can fit on a cartridge. And that's the kind of stuff I'm mad about, and I won't support that. But, when something like Final Fantasy VII comes out, or Final Fantasy VII Remake, Retrograde, whatever it's called, you should support that. If you haven't played the game or you're just somewhat interested, it looks like a really good port. You don't have to buy a key card. You can just buy it digitally and play it that way. I mean, you're gonna be paying for. That's another thing I don't like, is that that's a hidden cost, because now I got to go buy a freaking memory card, because Nintendo didn't give me enough memory. I mean, nobody's gonna give you enough memory, but I think they could have gave us at least 512. So that is a issue I have with them. So I'm annoyed by these things, but I don't mean you have to cut complete ties and turn into Nintending and be angry about everything and there's no way, if you're a Nintendo fan who was a glazer for years, all of a sudden you just completely turned off. What is the Switch 2 doing that's so egregious that the Switch 1 didn't do? Again, the Switch 1 had funky Joy-Cons. It had high prices as well. People complain about the price as well. It had the card situation as well, where some games were partial downloads, and if you did buy a card, it was $10 more, stuff like that. We had that already. So if you're complaining about that, and you ain't complaining about that on Switch, like, yeah, I don't believe you. Like, I don't get it. I don't believe you. And again, I didn't like the price of the Pro controller. I was like, I'm not paying damn $100 for a standard controller for the console. So I waited. I saw one that was like an open box situation. I also got a discount from eBay for something I don't even know, like $15, and I bought it for $56. Like, you don't have to support bad practices. But you also don't have to be a grifter that's full of it. But I guess rents do. You got to pay the rent. So, like he likes to say, because he's the only one I see grifting. These other guys are trying to enjoy their favorite console, their favorite company. A lot of these Nintendo YouTubers that he accuses of grifting because they're not complaining in daily videos like he is. They've always been Nintendo fans, and they want to enjoy what they enjoy. Again, I bring this analogy up all the time. I'm a fan of bad teams, or teams that don't live up to their potential, sports teams and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I'm a fan. Like, I'm gonna complain about what I think they should be doing better, but I'm still a fan of it unless they do something just outright craziness and egregiousness that's just immoral. Then I can't. There's nothing there, and so the grift will end at some point. I'm guessing by the middle of next year. I think 2026 is going to be nonsense on the Switch 2. Not only third party but first party. Like, Switch 2 hasn't really gotten that much started with the first party games yet. There's good first party games, obviously, but we're talking about Switch 1 games that are basically the Switch 2 version. So when those Switch 2 games start coming out, like, it's going to be really hard for you to be upset daily about things, and that grift is going to end. Like, the gaming community is going to yell uncle. It's going to happen. Switch 2 is going to be a success. I mean, it already is, obviously, but it's going to be a great success. And if they work it out correctly, it could, it could surpass Switch 2. I mean, Switch 1. You just don't know about that kind of thing because you don't know what's going to come out. You don't know what's going to catch on. Maybe Steam Deck starts selling in retail stores, or somebody else comes along. You just never know. That's why I would say it's really hard to, like, not only surpass your previous success, but just to even do as well as your previous success. It's hard to do that with the part 2 of a console. The only console that really has done that, overwhelmingly, was the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 1 was already a crazy success at 100 million. PlayStation 2 came out and dropped 156 million. Yes, 156 million ain't no damn 60 million. If they had sold that extra 5 million or whatever it was, 155 million. If they ever sold that extra 5 million or whatever, they would have told us a long time ago. Like, why are you holding? Where are these numbers just hiding for those 15 years or whatever it was that nobody knew that the PlayStation 2 actually sold an extra 5 million. Where did it come from? And everybody just updated their numbers without any questions. I just thought that was crazy. But yeah, this is how it's gonna be. You're gonna yell uncle. The grift will end. You're the only one grifting, Dean. Like, these normal Nintendo fans who've been normal Nintendo fans since some of these guys since Wii U. They're out there struggling. Yes, there was things to complain about for Wii U. And again, where were you then? I didn't see you. There were still things to complain about then, but those guys were fans. They were trying to do their best to hype the console up, help it do better. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a fan. That's not a grift. What the grift is, farming for outrage. That's grift. Creating headlines that are a joke. They're just false, completely lies. Trying to find something negative about something that's doing well. Oh, this console isn't doing well in Zimbabwe. It didn't sell well. The Zimbabwe market ain't looking good for Switch 2. Like, that's the kind of stuff that, is grifty. So, yeah, that's my video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think this dude's a clown? He's hilarious. I would love to debate him. I mean, it wouldn't last very long. It would be pretty one-sided. But we are, I made the video about him being a coward. He said he don't want to debate. And back then, that wasn't even on my mind. But apparently, somebody challenged him to a debate. I think somebody said in my comments. I didn't even know. I was watching his video, Dean's video, and he was talking about people trying to debate him. I don't know who the hell he was talking about. But debate about what? The facts are the system is doing really well. It's going to continue to do well, and it's only going to be better in 2026. Like, that's just a fact. And these, the things that are a problem right now, we can talk about those things for sure. I already had the receipts. I already got videos dedicated to these things. I'm not like some guys who make a video that's mostly positive and quickly talk about the negative thing and throw it in there. No, I have a video dedicated to what I think is negative. I do that. It's not a problem. A lot of times, most people agree, and some people don't. It's fine. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but Switch 2 is doing well. But yeah, grifters are going to have to find a new thing. They're going to actually have to start making videos about stuff. And I can get to my videos about stuff that won't do as well. I get it. It's fine. I enjoy gaming, so I enjoy talking about it. Even when videos don't do fantastic, I still enjoy it. Yeah, there's obviously you want everybody to see your video, you want everybody to see your work, but at the end of the day, I still love talking and enjoying video games. So yeah, that's my video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you again for watching and listening, and see you fools next time. Peace out. Oh no. No! Alright, at least I have my audio back up.